Hey guys, today I'm gonna share how to prepare your vehicle for out of the season. So 8 scale cars, this is my most important and most interesting class of the RC racing, and I didn't took part in the different classes in the winter season, and now I need to prepare my car for storage. So, and the first thing that I strongly recommend to do is take off your shocks and disassemble it. So I need to unscrew it. And I always put on back all the nuts, all the screws to not loosen it, because it's very often situation when I can leave it somewhere. I forgot about that, and then I need to buy new ones or find somewhere else, and so on, so on. So yeah, I disassembled the front shocks from the bottom. Also need to do the same with the rear ones. Yep, here we go. And now it's time to disassemble from the bottom. So actually I'm using my drill for that purposes. Which is much helpful for save some money, because now I'm doing this on my weekends. Yes, my weekends is very valuable time for me. I'm trying to save as soon as possible of these days. Yeah, here we go. Nice. And again, back to the leave all the screws, all the elements on the same spots, just to make sure that when I take this car and will prepare for the next season, into the new year, I will not lose something. So I screw back all the screws. Nice. So it will be not removed anyway. And the same procedure with the front shocks. Oh, sorry. Not sorry, but I just forgot it. Here we go. So the shocks are off of the vehicle, and let me show you what you need to do next with the shocks. Because again, shocks has springs, and now they are preloaded because originally length of the springs is a little bit longer, but when I install this for the shocks, it becomes shorter, and especially for the front ones. And the next step with the shocks, you need to disassemble, detach the springs out of the shocks, and leave it as is. Yeah, and again, all the elements should be on the same spots, just to not lose it. And as you can, let me show you just, there is the original, there is the not preloaded spring, but this one is preloaded. And just, can you compare difference between them? That will be about maybe 5, maybe 7 millimeters, which is huge. And reason why I'm doing that, because if you leave your springs like in the compressed position, it will be much softer after some time being in this position, because metal has a memory, and as you compress, as you deformate these springs more, they will be deformated after some while, after some time, much bigger. Yeah, and finally in the next season, when you take a car, you can feel that it is much softer than right now. So always storage your springs like that, detached of the shocks. And let's compare the rear ones. Oh, rear one's actually not bad. You know, there is about 2, maybe 3 millimeters. But anyway, I always storage springs detached out of the season period. Yeah, so that's nice. The next step, what I'm usually do when prepare the car for the out of the season period and storaging, I do the same procedure with the spring in the steering posts. So let's start from the unscrewing the steering plate, and then I'll be able to show you what I'm talking about. But I'm pretty much sure you understood. Yeah. But difference between shocks in the between springs in the shocks and spring in the steering post, that in the steering post you have much stiffer springs, and value of them is much much more than for the shock springs, because again, when your steering springs are not loaded, you can always you will feel, you will feel some kind of loose in that. But if your shock springs are not enough loaded, so you can just screw it and adjust this unnecessary tension. That's actually hard to do, because I feel that my top plate is touching the chassis brace, but yeah, now here we go. And now I need to unscrew the Ackerman plate from this side. Yeah, this one. Got. Here we go, and the same procedure from the top, from the second screw. So nice. So when I unscrew all required screws, I'm able to touch my steering post, and now I'm able to unscrew this. So I have MBX 8R Eco chassis, and you see this cool feature with this additional fixing screw. So first of all, I unscrew this. Yep. And originally, by the manual, this distance is about 2.5, maybe 3 millimeters. But now I'm using 4 millimeters because I need more proper. Yeah, I have exactly 4 millimeters. Because I need I need more tension in this spring to create more precise driving and steering. So when I for example, for the shocks, I completely disassembled the springs from the shocks. But in this case, I just unscrew it as soon as possible, and yeah, leave it, and it should be enough to completely stretch, to remove this preload for the spring. So something like that. Yeah, still I feel just a little bit of the pressure, a little bit of the tension inside of the spring. But now, yeah, now I'm completely disassembled it. But I know that with this position, it will scratch the chassis bottom. So anyway, I'm screwing back just a little bit to make sure that it will never touch the chassis bottom. Yeah, let's say like that. And install it back. Yeah, nice. So I see that that steering post and this nut here is just a little bit touching the chassis bottom, but it moves freely. So it means that I achieved the bottom position, and I don't need it. I don't need this screw in, screw out, and I will leave this as is. And difference between this position and I'm originally using is about, I don't know, 5 millimeters, which is a lot. Yeah, and I'm sure that with this positioning, my spring will not be deformated to the next season. And that's actually good. So I need to assemble it. I need to assemble everything back. Yeah, and I'll be ready to create my car for the staging period. So that's fine. That's all from my side. If it was usable, you can click the like button. You can also subscribe for new videos, and see you later. Bye bye.